All right, thank you, Carrie. It is being called a hellstorm. Jaw-dropping images surfacing out of Florida today as deadly and powerful tropical storm Michael batters the state. Officials say 2 people, including a child, were killed by falling trees. The storm was nearly a Category 5 hurricane when it made landfall in the Panhandle region, with winds topping 250 kilometers per hour. Powerful storm surges also causing major damage, ripping roofs off of homes, uprooting trees, flooding streets. U.S. President Trump says sending help to devastated residents is now the #1 priority.
I had a long talk with Rick Scott, Governor Scott of Florida, very well coordinated with all of the states.
The storm surge reached heights of up to 14 feet in Florida's Panhandle and Big Bend regions, and powerful wind speeds of 144 kilometers per hour, wind gusts topping 96 kilometers per hour, reported at several areas in Georgia. Michael is the first Category 4 storm to make landfall in Florida's Panhandle since record-keeping began in 1851. It is the 3rd strongest hurricane in recorded history to hit the mainland U.S. Now, Michael has been downgraded to a tropical storm this morning as it continues to threaten Georgia, and heavy rains, dangerous winds there. It's now on its way toward the Carolinas, a region that is still recovering from last month's Hurricane Florence. The National Hurricane Center says Michael's still expected to bring tornadoes, rainfall, and wind damage along its path. Now, coming up in about 20 minutes' time, we're going to take you live to Panama City for the latest on the devastation there. Back here at home, a woman in her 50s recovering in hospital this morning after suffering a stab wound to her chest. This happened at an East End apartment building on Greenwood Circuit near Markham and Lawrence just after 7 last night. Police say the woman rushed to hospital with serious injuries. The suspect, a man in his 70s, taken into custody. He is apparently known to the victim. The owner of the Alberta trucking company whose rig was involved in the deadly Humboldt Broncos crash, now facing a list of federal and provincial rule violation charges. 16 players and support staff of the junior hockey team were killed when their bus collided with a transport back in April. And now the owner of Adeshgial Trucking, a Calgary-based company, faces a list of charges. They include failing to maintain logs for drivers' hours of work and several safety violations. If found guilty, the owner would face thousands in fines. The driver of the truck was charged earlier this year with dangerous driving causing death and dangerous driving causing bodily harm. 28-year-old Noman Hussein has been charged in connection to a crash in upstate New York that killed 20 people. Authorities allege that Hussein hired a driver and put them in a vehicle that should not have been on the road as it was deemed unserviceable last month. Hussein's parents are the owners of the limo company. He is charged with criminally negligent homicide. If convicted, he faces up to 4 years in prison.